Alright, we're going to take another look at srsLTE. Someone asked a question the other day that reminded me I hadn't actually got around to setting up data when I set up the 4G LTE base station last time. So real quick, I've got a B205mini that's going to act as the handset. I've got a BladeRF xa4 that's going to act as the base station. Two laptops, and they're both going to be connected to via real VNC here. So DragonOS, everything's pre-installed. We might add a thing or two if we want to check something with iperf, but for the most part everything is already here. So I have the srsLTE.com page up here with their COTS-UE application note. We're going to use some information from here, and yeah, we're going to get this working. So hopefully in just a few minutes. So we want to start our srsepc up, and I've shown this in the past. It's as simple as this command here. We're going to start that up. We're going to look down through here at this application note, specifically at the, let's see, so we're not going to do any adding of an APN or anything like that. We will run the route command. We see we've got our 172.16 on this srspgw interface there, and what we want to run is the masquerading script, and you want to feed it the interface that's actually connected to the internet. So in my case it's this ENO1 is what's actually connected. So if I do and then put the ENO1, that's going to masquerade that interface. Alright, it should be about all we need to do. The rest of the steps, as far as networking goes, we'll do it on the other computer. So now we need to bring up our base station, and I've specified the BladeRF specifically with this option here. Sometimes it doesn't. I've had a couple issues with it starting with the BladeRF, but for the most part it seems pretty stable. Now we'll switch over to the, let's see, so this is going to be acting as the handset. What's going to be, so right now it's connected to Wi-Fi, so I'm probably going to have to step away from the computer because this is going to lose connection here. But what we'll do is open up a terminal window here, and I've made some notes here to kind of remind myself of what needs to be done. Let me think here. So I'm not going to really be able to show this really good. Let's see. Oh, actually, yeah, so I won't lose connection right away. So we'll bring up the UE. And you can see it's loading the firmware and the FPGA. Okay, we've got to attach, and yeah, let's see, let's come back over here, let's give it one more try. Back here. One second. Alright, so I had the radios quite a bit distance apart. I just moved everything, well, probably about 2 feet apart. So now we can see we have a successful connection here. Let's see, and let me try and ping. Alright, so we can, so I'm on the phone now pinging the base station. So what we want to do is add a route. And that tune.srsue, that's kind of default created when I run that UE, SRS UE. Now maybe I'll probably lose internet or connection. Yeah, looks like I have. So what I'll do is, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the laptop itself. Alright, so I'm back. What I did was, when I added that route, I lost the connection, so I disconnected from the Wi-Fi. I ran the network manager stop, and then I did the resolve CTL to add DNS to the link. So now I'm connected via the radio link. Let me think. And so I can still ping the gateway. That was the SSID that I had just made up for this video. I think what else? I guess I could just show that because I've actually stopped the network manager. So just so you can see, I'm running the Tune SRS UE. Alright, so that was pretty quick. So we've added data. I'm essentially on the phone right now. Let's say I do speed test here on Google. Now keep in mind it's, let's see, it's there. It's going through like 3 connections to get to the internet, and I'm sure there's some things that I could do to make these speeds better. The other day when I tested it, it was hitting over 4 on download. So let me think, what else can we do here? Well, I've got it open and might as well add, so let's see. Install iperf on both. Let's see, we'll make this one the server. This is back on the base station. And let me think, I'm trying to remember. So I say something like iperf I10-S. So I think is the interval, dash S is should be act as a server. Alright, and we'll come back over to this one. And we'll run same on the interval. T, I think. Yeah, time. C, and what is the IP? 172.16.0.1. Okay. Let's see if we got a connection over the other one. Alright, there we go. So you can see the bandwidth with iperf, just in that quick test there. Let it run a little bit here. And while that's running, I want to point out one other thing that I've been messing with is this srsLTE Sniffer. I've actually got it, well, at least working to the extent of it's running and generating IMSI text files and PCAP, everything else basically it talks about, but I've not actually seen it capture an IMSI yet. So messed around with that for quite a while. I'll probably cover that separately, but since I still had it open, I figured I'd mention it. Alright, there we go. So you can see some numbers there. That's between the just a really quick setup, maybe not the most ideal antennas or arrangement, between the B205 mini and the BladeRF. Alright, thanks.